Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming today on 111. So we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming immersion and for yoga. And I want to hear your questions, and then we're going to do a little bit of a demo. It's not going to be a lot of movement, but it'll be a little bit of movement, and then we'll see. So does anybody have any burning questions? Or are you just like, I don't even know what's happening? That's valid too. Hello. Does anybody have anybody know that they have any questions?
There's different hours, right? This is a 50-hour one.
Yeah.
So there was also a 200-hour one.
So I used to do 200 hours, and then after COVID, I started doing 50-hour blocks because 200 hours, like people don't even have enough patience to sit for an hour and a half class anymore. I understand that. I'm the same way. So it felt like to me asking somebody to commit for 200 hours seemed like a lot. So I started breaking it up into 50-hour chunks. And then if you do 4 50-hour chunks, then you have 200 hours.
Wow.
And so if you are going to want to teach, you can still get your 200-hour certification. And also the 50 hours usually have a different theme. Like 2 years ago, we did 50 hours in the joint frame series. So people who are interested in that work because of arthritis or other physical stuff took that, and that was all they wanted. But for people who are interested in teaching, it gave a lot of information about anatomy and kinesiology. That will come around again too, because if somebody does want to teach, they do need to have that. And so some people are just taking like 50 hours here and there, and some people are like bump, bump, bump all the way through. Yeah. It takes a little longer, but you also have more breaks. Did you get on? Okay. Any other questions like that, which are really easy?
Do you yourself do 50 hours a year? Like, are you offering these once a year kind of things?
I offer them twice a year, but we don't always get enough people. Like we had, as you know, because you're one of the people who wanted to do it. So I found that we usually have more people sign up now in the beginning of the year, and then we do the 50 hours. And then one time we had second. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know how it works.
So what's the first 50 hours?
Oh, no, this is, yeah.
What, like the first 50 hours that you would be doing? Because I think some days are like 5 hours, right? On Sunday?
They're all 5 hours.
They're all 5 hours.
Yeah.
So what are you doing during that 5 hours?
What we're doing during the five hours is we have what's called a satsang, which is essentially what we're doing now. So we sit and we talk about, what are your questions? What's going on with you today? What are your observations? What are you wondering about? What do you need to know? Then for this segment, we're also going to be going through like pretty standard asanas, like warrior 1, warrior 2, triangle, extended angle, rotated angle, things like that. And so there's going to be times for sitting, and then there's going to be times that we're moving around. Now, we're not doing a full-on vinyasa flow class. We're not doing that. So we might do like, we're going to stand warrior 1 and we're going to play around with it. And we're going to do a little bit of that today. Maybe not warrior 1, but just for you to get an idea of how the classes are run, that there'll be maybe a little bit of anatomy. I'm not asking you to know muscles or anything like that. If you know them, excellent. If you're interested in them, I can tell you how to go further with that. And then there will be a segment that is more dedicated to anatomy. So we're going to be practicing warrior 1. We'll practice it standing at the mat. We'll practice it against the wall. We'll practice it with blocks. We'll practice moving in and out of warrior 1 to warrior 2, like that. You're going to, and the reason we're doing all the different ways is because you have to find out how it works in your body. And along the way, I'm going to talk about what you should be feeling, what you shouldn't be feeling. And if a lot of people are feeling things that they shouldn't be feeling, we're going to figure out another way for you to do it. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because you could do it better. You can do it. Every pose has a hierarchy. So why are we doing this pose? Where are we doing warrior one? We're doing it to strengthen the front leg, but we're also doing it to shift the hips in a particular way. So if you're not feeling that hip shifting in a particular way, you're doing the pose, but you're not getting as much out of it as you can. It's kind of a little bit like our phones. Like, who ever makes a phone call on this anymore? Does anybody make a phone call on their
I
phone?
do.
Okay.
I do
So-
for work.
Can I actually make a phone call to Autumn so she can join?
Oh, yeah.
She can't join the link
get
for
in?
some reason, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of
Okay,
course.
thanks.
We're gonna make a phone call. It's actually a Zoom call, though. It's not really a phone call, right?
Well, video, so technically.
Oh, okay. And tell her it's also being recorded. So why I brought up the thing about, hi, I'm sorry you couldn't join, but there will be recording and here you are.
Hello.
Yeah. So that worked out well. Thank you. So we used to have these things to make phone calls with, right? But now, like, you would never have thought when you picked up that rotary phone that was, that you had to go like this, you never would have thought, oh, I can also answer emails, because we also didn't know what emails were, right? But the primary reason for this thing is actually to make phone calls. Probably not true anymore. But what I'm saying is the primary reason for Warrior One is a particular thing, which you don't have to know right now. Some of you know. But you can also send a text. You can also send an email. But if all you're doing on a phone is like drawing, doodling, then you're not using your phone to its fullest capacity. I think that's really what I was trying to say. I talk about my son all the time and his technical know-how. I'll say, I need to do this. He says, give me your phone, and he'll give me something that I can. I was like, I had no idea. I didn't even know to ask for that, right? Like, he did this. I didn't know you can just push a button and have your flashlight go on. So this phone now has gotten like has more ability for me, but it's not its primary focus. It's not to turn the flashlight on. So all that is to say is, if you go into Warrior One and all you feel is twisting in your knee, you're not getting the full benefit of the pose. So one of the reasons we go through this is so you can find the full benefit of Warrior One. Now, once you know the full benefit of Warrior One, it's going to translate into the benefit of Trikonasana. No, sorry, of tree pose. It's going to transfer into the benefit of pyramid pose. It's going to transfer into the benefit of similar poses that have a similar hip movement, and Warrior Two and Warrior Three. So it's almost like the Rosetta Stone. It starts to unlock, and you start to understand other reasons that you're doing poses. And also, so that's the physical reasons, but also each of the poses has an energetic movement. It has a way that it's moving prana through your body. And some people may come into the Warrior One pose that it looks picture perfect. You want to be on the cover of Yoga Journal, but they're not feeling it. They're not feeling the energetic implications. Their mind is not calm and sattvic. They're hurting themselves. It's not a good pose. We want you in a pose where you can feel. And so what would we guess is the energetic movement of Warrior One? Anybody have any ideas? Warrior One. Yeah, well, you're doing this, right? It's like there's like a powerful thing here. You're a warrior, you're a fighter, you're somebody who goes into battle and fights for truth, justice, and the American way. So you're fighting, you're going in there, you're facing. Warriors are the ones who know right action in all situations, who always know what to do when it gets difficult. So when you're doing Warrior One, you're feeling that energy, or you should be feeling it, or we're working towards feeling that energy. But if you go into Warrior One and all you're thinking about are my feet in the right place, you're going to miss that. You're going to miss that little nuance of it. So we want you in the right place. So then you can start to, now some people are going to feel the energy first. Some people are going to feel the physical stuff first. We want to do both. And we want your mind to participate too. You've heard yoga is about mind, body, what do they say? Energy and spirit. I don't know. It's about your physical body, how it's moving. It's about how the energy is moving once your physical body is in a certain place. And then what is the effect it's having on your mind? So if you're doing a pose and you have really nasty thoughts about somebody, or you have really sad thoughts, or you have destructive thoughts, you're not doing the pose right. And that's not a way of blame, you're not doing the pose right. You could do it better. You can do it better because we want the mind to be shifted through our yoga pose. We're not just doing it. You all know that. That's why you're here. You know that doing the pose is not just about what's happening to your body. It's about how is it affecting my energy and my mind? And is it allowing a communication through these three aspects of ourselves? And we will learn about that also, the koshas. There's 5 basic levels, but I'm talking about 3 right now because that's what is most accessible in asana, the first 3. So you can have your feet like this in warrior 1 and feel that strength and power, or you can have your feet like this and feel like you're about to fall over. Which will you choose? And you may not know, like I didn't know I could just push that button and a flashlight goes on my phone. I didn't know to ask for that. You may not know if you go like this, oh, now I'm ready to take on the world. Or at least I'm ready to speak to that person I didn't want to talk to before because I was afraid of conflict. You choose. It could be any of those degrees. So that's kind of what we'll be doing. And we'll be talking about this kind of things. We'll be experimenting. We'll be playing around with it. We'll see what's best for us. We will be looking at other people to see how they do the pose. That's part, even if you're not going to be teaching, because it is part of teaching to see, like, okay, if you're in that pose and I'm judging that it's wrong, it would be better if I said, what are you feeling in that pose, right? So now you're developing not interrogative skills, inquisitive skills, being curious. Curiosity should be a huge part of our yoga practice. Those of you who've done any work with me in the Dakini Mandala or in Ayurveda know that asking good questions is the way to calm the mind and to empower the whole being, is asking good questions. We want to learn how to ask questions of ourselves and even of the people around us, not invasive questions, but like, how does that feel to you? And you should know also I give really long answers sometimes.
I think we know that about you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
Is there a part of this series that like works on like some of the more technical aspects of like teaching, like how do you structure a class, like the different areas?
Probably not. It will depend on who actually signs up.
Okay,
Okay, so you're going into your last segment, I think, right?
second to last.
Second to last.
I
So,
did 2. So there's
oh,
2
okay,
more.
okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to evaluate who's waiting for that part, because that part is not going to necessarily be people who are casually taking yoga immersions. It can be actually, because one of the things you learn when you learn how to structure a class is that you understand that when you're in a class, it's structured a certain way. And it's like if you've ever watched a movie with somebody who knows a lot about camera angles and a lot about film, and they say, oh, but did you see how they did this? And you're like, what? Like I remember watching a movie. I think it was one of the Mission Impossible movies that was taken during COVID. And I'm just, yeah, it was fun, whatever. And somebody said, did you notice how it was all pictured? It was just one person in a scene because they were the only person there because it was COVID. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'd never noticed there weren't 2 people in the scene at the same time. I had no idea, but this person was like, oh, that. And then they thought, oh, they could have done that better. And I was just like, whatever. So when you learn the underground part of how you structure a class, you start to realize, oh, that's being done all the time. And it's not just structuring a class, the beginning, the middle, and the end, but it's also structuring within the class. What do we do in the wintertime, summertime, fall? What are we doing? Morning, evening, like that.
Yeah, I knew there was all that, but I don't know how.
All the architecture.
Yeah, like I knew
Yeah.
there was different things for different times of the year, and there's different segments, but I don't know what.
Yeah, and a lot of that also is developing our intuition and our ability, which I think is so important in it's such a beautiful gift actually in teaching, is if you can come in to a space and allow the space to guide you. Right. So there's nobody here that's one of my teachers, but when I come into class and I see like a list of poses from the teacher before that they wrote out their class, I'm like, who did this? Who came into class with a formula, a script? And then they get scolded. Hi. So we want to be able to, that's something that's developed, that doesn't come right away unless somebody is really, really spontaneous, which I think is a gift. So grab something to sit on. You can grab a bolster or something. Yeah, it's learning for us to trust our intuition and to play around with it. Like we develop our intuition by taking it out of the closet and like, is this working? Is this working? And it's good to do that when you're teaching class because there's not really that much at stake. You know, I mean, there is, I'm not saying that. I don't want to be casual and say, hey, I'm playing with your nervous system. Oops, bye. But I'm saying that, you know, you can accommodate that, but it's a good place for us to experiment and see if we can follow a group rather than demand a group to do something differently. Yeah, like with animals, right?
Yeah, you always have to follow them.
You always have to follow them, or else there's just going to be like, yeah.
Or you're hurting kittens.
Or you're,
It's impossible.
yeah.
Yeah. When is this beginning? When is the start date? I don't know if I read it.
That's a good question. Oh, and also, I have to say that there will be one amendment that I know of right now because apparently I scheduled on Easter, and that was not intentional. So I just don't always have all of the holidays in my calendar at the right time. So I will tell you in a second when this is starting. And also, because you are all going to get the, hello, now we see you full on. You are also all going to get the video because I want you to see what it would be like if you miss a class and you get a recording. Like that's one of the really great things that came out of COVID is that now we tape everything, we record everything. So it starts February 15th. And when is Easter?
April 5th.
April 5th. Okay, so that will be moved. It'll probably, instead of April 5th, it'll be moved to the last weekend in April, whatever that is.
It'll be May 3rd.
May 3rd? Okay.
May 10th is next Tuesday.
Oh, you got a calendar in your head.
I have a lot of stuff coming up, so I was sitting down and prepping. That's with my kids.
Yeah, and there might be, I don't know if there's another, I don't think there's another week in March, but there might be another week in February because it seems like we do February and then we're off for a long time. So,
There is, it's February 15th, then it's like the 20 something, and then it starts March.
because I'm going to be in a training myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
And it's on Sunday?
I don't know, ask her.
On Sunday? I have two kids, and I have to like prep my husband.
You have to say
Every
two young
Sunday.
kids, two young
Starting
kids.
February 15th, you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's like it's 5 hours. I was like kind of more like 7 because
Yeah.
I have to drive.
Travel time. Yeah.
And if you do class ahead of time.
I
Yeah,
travel
actually, tell them it's 9 and that way you can go,
Yeah.
you can go
day.
for
go get
coffee.
dinner
Yeah,
and
go get
a
dinner.
drink after.
No, she kept us late. We didn't understand Warrior One. We have to say later.
Yeah, we're all going for drinks after we train on Sundays. Anyways.
Okay, what other questions?
Is there homework or expectations outside of?
Good question. So I would say that the homework is for people who really want to know more about anatomy, right? And that's as there's really simple anatomy books. There's a really good app. And some people really want to know that, and some people could not care at all. So if you really want to know that, then there would be homework, right?
What's the app
There-
called?
I'll have to get back to you. I don't have it on the top of my head.
Wait, I have it.
She has it.
Okay.
Anatomy learning.
Thanks.
Yeah. And there's also a possibility of people coming together in off times when we're not in class and meeting together here and working on anatomy. I didn't talk to the graduates, but I'm sure that they would be happy because they have done this in the past to actually come and meet you and work with you on some anatomical things. I highly recommend Mukunda Styles Structural Yoga Therapy as like your textbook. And that has he has that structured with the Joint Frame series and then the Structural Yoga 24, which we're going to be working with. And in that Structural Yoga 24 section, he tells you what muscles you're using in each of the poses. And that's how I suggest you learn anatomy, not like you memorize this, but you say, in this pose, I'm feeling it here. What's the name of this muscle? group. And in this pose, I'm feeling it here. What's the name of that muscle group? And you'll notice in class, if you come a lot, that I don't usually use, sometimes I do use the Latin name of the muscle, but I'll say, what does this muscle do? So we have the internal, we worked a lot on external rotators, but I never mentioned their names because frankly, I don't know all of them. You don't need to know, like it does, they all do the same thing, right? They're the piriformis, the obturator, minor, major, maybe I do know them all. The gemellus, is gemellus an external rotator? I don't know. Don't
It's been a
ask
long
me.
time.
Okay. So you don't need to know like all of that, but you know that the external rotators are here, and when they engage, they turn the thigh out. And that's what I would say where your anatomy should be, unless you're really going to geek out on it and you're going to get like, I have the textbook of anatomy that I'm using as a stand here. Comes in handy, or you have Gray's Anatomy, which is just like this really great book. And if you love to color, there's an anatomy coloring book. Yeah, that really helps you to learn anatomy. I have mine from my first teacher training 27 years ago, and there's not one color in it. I don't like to color. Yeah, that's why I don't like to color. But it's, if you do like to color, I bet yours is all colored in.
I agree.
Yeah. You can do that. And it's a great way to learn anatomy too. Would you say it helped you to learn anatomy?
Yes. Yeah, a little bit, because you're coloring certain groups.
Mhm.
So as you're doing it, you're kind of just geeking out on
Yeah.
staying in the lines and making sure you don't transfer into another group and activate something weird in your body.
Yeah, so you're coloring the quadriceps. You're going to go color in all four of the quadriceps. And you're going to go, oh, they go from here to here. Ah. And they're all orange or whatever. So that's another thing that, and I wouldn't call coloring homework.
If you're in kindergarten.
If you're in kindergarten, it is, but we're not, so it's not.
Darn it.
Okay, any other questions?
I'm trying to formulate my question, so I might have to speak a little.
Yeah, go ahead. Rubber ducky.
Rubber ducky, I'll talk it out.
Mhm.
So when I come to class, I find that the mental and the physical and the emotional, sometimes I feel very joyful.
Mhm.
And, you know, I really do get a real sense of joy. And I'm not sure if that's from the emotion, you know, it's from the emotion, the meditation, the physical, all of those three things combined.
Mhm.
So I like all of those three things. It's really opened up my creativity.
Mhm.
So that's what I kind of like, the combination of everything together. So I'm not totally focused on just the physical part.
Mhm.
So is there more than just the physical part?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, the energetic
Right,
part.
right.
And then even in class today, I think I was fusing it a little bit,
Right.
right? I was saying,
Mhm.
okay, well, you know, we're going to feel grounded, feel like a stick, feel a staff, you're supporting your sadhana, feel the consciousness rising. In my training and my experience, you cannot separate them.
Right.
You cannot say this is all about your body and then still be practicing yoga. You just can't separate it. So there is always going to be aspects of an energetic flow and a mental flow.
Mhm.
And so your question, like, what is making me feel so happy? It's
Right.
a great question. It's a really good question. And it's something that I would say, yeah, let's even look at that outside of yoga class. Like, can you still get, if you said, well, I feel so high after, you know, like
Mhm.
just, whoa, I feel so elevated after yoga class. Are you feeling that in other places too? Like, let's say cooking, if you like to cook, or knitting or crocheting, and you realize you're moving your body, the energy is flowing in a certain way, and your mind is calm. So we say, okay, well, then that's your yoga practice also, right? Now, moving the body has some advantages because we have the nerve endings in the fascia. We have the flow of prana, like when we move our body, prana is flowing. We're keeping our body healthy, our physical body physically healthy. So that means we have more energy to spend on meditation, maybe, or finding prana flows. Our awareness starts to expand when we put all three of these elements together, the physical, the energetic, and the mental. That is all being exercised in yoga. I lost my train of thought, but it's all going to happen. it does
That's okay,
not
I
get
didn't have a
separated.
specific question.
Yeah, okay, then you don't get a specific answer. It all gets addressed, and a lot of it also depends on questions that are asked. So I've never had a group, and I've been doing this now for 25 years. I've never had a group that was only interested in knowing what's happening in their physical body. I've had students in the group that were only interested in what's happening in the physical body, but unfortunately, they got all the other stuff too. There was no avoiding it. Yeah. Anything else? That was a lot of talking. If you hear all this and you're like, but I just really want to teach, great, that's great. And we can put you on that track to teaching. And if you hear all this and you say, there's no way I want to teach yoga, great, that's fine too. You're so welcome here. I will say that so many people have taken this training in years past and have not taught, but have used what they've learned in the training in other aspects of their life. So I had one woman take it who was an art therapist, and she found it really helped her with her students. I've had people like develop other programs in their careers that came out of the teacher training. Well, some of them was all yoga based, but so that doesn't count. but because it can't help but shift your vision of reality and your vision of relationships, it is going to change everything. So it does spill out into other parts of your life. After 50 hours, I don't know, maybe after 5 hours. I remember having a student once, she goes, is everybody's life so dramatically changed after 3 classes? And I'm like, no. She's like, you're kidding. I said, I don't think I am kidding. No. I think that's actually true. And just to give you just the briefest history on how I came to yoga, I took yoga for a gym class when I was at the Fashion Institute of Technology. The same time I was studying judo and going to the gym. Like, I really like to move my body. And not in gym class. I hated every gym class up until that yoga class at FIT. And I took yoga there, and then I had to go to this ashram, which was right around the corner from my school, where my gym teacher was a student of that ashram. And I when she took the whole class, I missed it because I was sewing pin tucks or something like that. I was like, this is so much more important. So I went by myself, and I was just like, oh, and then I was hooked. And it was just walking into that building, which was like really shabby and smelly, but it was just like the practice really, really hooked me. And then I was there like 4 times a week. And I didn't really know why I was there, but it called me. So I went, and they actually, it was a Shivananda ashram, and they, the longer you go there, the more they're trying to pull you in, which is like a little creepy, you know? So I kind of stepped away from that, and I started going to another yoga place that was much more physical. And at the same time, I started taking karate, which was even more physical. I'm in my early 20s, so I had a lot of energy. Those were the days. And so I started doing that, and then I moved out here. And so moving out here, I gave up karate. I got pregnant, all these things, a lot of things changed. And then I met my teacher, Parvati, who I still study with, but she does not teach asana anymore. But the reason I'm giving you this history is because she was a meditator since the age of 12, and her family were practitioners. She was a longtime practitioner. She had to go up into the mountains and study with the teacher every summer. Like, she really didn't care that much about asana, but she was asked by this gym to teach. And so she was teaching asana. And as she's doing that, all of these students, like, there was like bees to honey, like all to a flower, all these people started coming, and she started sneaking in like meditation, satsang, mantra, she started sneaking all these things in. And each part of it pulled me in more and more and more. So I came for the physical. That's what I was there for. I wanted a good sweat. I wanted to stand on my hands. I wanted to stretch my hamstrings. I wanted to do all of that. And that's all that was important to me. But I got pulled in. And here I am 30 years later. And and still practicing with her. But every now and then she'll do an asana. She'll say, you know what? This feels really good. Like, yes, it does. Actually, she said the only reason she started asana is because when she was pregnant, she had 3 kids right in a row. She was experiencing a lot of morning sickness. And she's like, there was something, she's Indian. She's like, there's something in my tradition. Oh, asanas help with morning sickness. So she started doing that and it did.
Will you be getting into the meditation part of it?
Somewhat. There is a separate meditation. So along with this, there's like your electives. So there is a meditation session that's going to start towards the beginning of February. And there's also a class called the Yoga Sutras, which is going to be a Zoom only class, which you can also do by video. And that gets really very deeply into the philosophical aspects of yoga. When I taught 200 hours, that was required. And for the 200 hours. And if you want to be 200 hours, you can start to count. If you take the Yoga Sutras, you can count that towards your 200 also. It's like not like an elective as much as when you took AP classes in high school and you didn't, and then you got the college credit. So those will be a little bit more based on just philosophy and no asana, no movement except sitting. And but of course, we're going to still talk about it in this, and we will have moments that we're doing a short meditation, but it won't be our focus. Asana is a preparation for meditation. So that's how it's written out. Like the recipe for meditation is third do asana, do your yoga poses, so then you can sit and be quiet, and then from that quiet arises one pointed concentration, and from that arises this and arises that. So it's really formulaic in a certain way. And asana comes actually the first thing. Anybody know? Anybody's taking Yoga Sutras? What's the first step in yoga? I'm looking at all my old Yoga Sutra students. No? Ahimsa, nonviolence. It's the first step in your yoga practice is practicing nonviolence. So you can see why then if you're doing an asana and you're hurting yourself, you got to go. It's like chutes and ladders. You got to go all the way back to the beginning. Not literally, but we play that game of like, oh yeah, I'm striving to do this, but I'm hurting myself. But you're not doing the first step in yoga, which is ahimsa, cause no harm. Then let's figure out how, and that really, there's a lot of ways we cause harm that we're not even thinking about. A lot of ways we cause harm that we cannot avoid, right? Like the Jains, they brush the ground before them so they don't step on a bug and kill it. We're not doing that. I mean, I'm not doing that. So there's a lot of ways that we are causing harm, and a lot of ways we don't know we're causing harm. May have said something innocently to somebody that hurt their feelings or something, whatever. But there are ways when we start doing asana and we realize that we're hurting ourselves and we have a choice. You see what that opens up? If we know, if I put my foot here because that's the way I think it's supposed to be, and I'm hurting myself, but if I put my foot over here, I'm not hurting myself. Oh, that's just increased your consciousness. I have a choice. I don't have to be stuck here. I can be here and not cause harm. How can that relate to the rest of your life? Right? Mm-hmm. I'm having all these, I'm negative self-talking. That's causing harm. So in your meditation practice, if you're sitting and you're meditating, all you're doing is negative self-harm. You have to say, what? I'm not practicing ahimsa. It's actually called himsa. When you put an in front of the word in Sanskrit, it negates it. So himsa is harm, ahimsa is not harm. So now we have to look at, well, if I realize I'm causing my body harm and I have an option to not cause my body harm, where else do I have an option not to cause myself harm? In my thoughts, in what I'm eating, in what activities I'm doing, so it ripples out like that. So in that way, again, it's never separate. But the body is teaching us, is training us how we can shift from harmful action to non-harmful action. All right. Shall we move our body a little bit? Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do this, Adam, but you're in a coffee bar? Okay. All right, well, we're gonna do something that can,
Check out, thank you.
no, you don't have to check
I
out.
know, I'm on a time schedule.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, but I really
Okay.
wanted the listening.
okay,
part there.
go Eagles.
Go
Thank you.
birds.
Go birds.
Go Birds, I'm sorry, you can tell, it's not my game.
Okay, how are we getting up?
Okay, no, you're gonna go onto hands and knees. You can actually do this in a chair. Okay, so you're gonna go onto your hands and knees. Go ahead and pad your knees. First part of ahimsa. Don't be on a bare wood floor if it bothers your knees. One of the things that we want to try to get out of the habit of doing is saying, "That's all right." Right?
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Lifetime
It's
that.
fine. It's fine. Okay, so you're on your hands and knees, you pad your knees, walk your hands. Well, actually, don't do any of that. Just do cat and dog tilts. Everybody knows how. In the chair, you're just sitting and you have your hands on your knees and you're doing cat and dog tilts like this. So while you're doing cat and dog tilts, I want you to notice everything that you can notice about your environment, what's around you, but more than that, even what's going on in your head as you're doing cat and dog tilts. And are you breathing? So what are your thoughts like? How connected are you to your body? And what are you feeling? Speaking of connected to the body. So how many places are you feeling this pose? How many sensations are you feeling? So I would like you to count that now. That's going to give your mind something to do. So whatever you're thinking about is going to have to kind of step out of the way. So it could be you're feeling your wrist, you're feeling your elbows, you're feeling your lower back, you're feeling the pressure of your knees on the mat, you're feeling your muscles contracting or stretching. Okay, you got it? I'd like you to have a number, like an actual, I feel it in 5 places and 3 of them suck. Okay, now reset. So come out of that, push back into child's pose or just sit up. So what we were doing just now is we were moving our physical body, right? If we took a picture of you, we took a movie, we'd see your physical body was moving. That's it. Maybe your mind was moving too. Only you will know if it was moving in a positive direction, not a positive direction. It was moving in the same way that it always moves. Now we're going to try something else. Okay, so come up onto your hands and knees again. And if you're on your hands and knees rather than sitting in a chair, I want you to see if you can move your hands forward a little bit and spin your index fingers so that they're facing 1 o'clock. If you remember what a clock face looks like, that's not 1 o'clock, actually. Yeah, maybe you don't remember.
1 o'clock, Bonnie, or like 1 is.
I'm
going
sorry,
to
12
11.
o'clock,
Oh,
not
okay.
12 o'clock. Some of you were at 1 o'clock. Some of you are going to have to go at 12 and a half. Yeah. What I'd like you to have is that your index finger knuckle can be on the ground without strain. Okay. If you feel this in your wrist, you're going to fold your mat up and you're going to put the heels of your hands on the fold and let your knuckles touch the ground. You can fold it up as high as you'd like. You can go a little higher if you want to. Then I'd like you to move your arms so that they're shoulder width apart. That's going to be different for everybody because everybody has a different width shoulder. Now, if you are a hyperextender, as some of you are, you're going to unhyperextend. You're going to put a little bend in your elbows. And then let's rotate the elbow points to point back towards our hips. So you're going to rotate your shoulders. Heather, take your hands wider apart. And Trish, take your hands wider apart. Okay. All right, so I want your elbows slightly bent. Knees hip width apart. Knees are padded if you like that better. And then you're going to round your spine up to the ceiling. Okay, hold that position, drop your head. You should be able to see back to your knees. Now see if you can pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Yeah, and see if that helps you to engage your abdominals more. Can you feel your abdominals engaging more if you do that? Mm-hmm. Pubic bone to belly button. Pull your tailbone down to your knee creases. Are you having a cramp?
Yes.
Did you eat breakfast? Tailbone pulls down to the backs of your knees. Belly button pulls up towards the ceiling, and pubic bone pulls in towards your belly button. Isometrically, Draw the upper arms towards each other without locking out your elbows. Okay, now feel how many places you feel this. And if anything feels pinchy or uncomfortable, change it. All right, now we're gonna go in the opposite direction. So drop your belly button down towards the ground. Point your tailbone up to the ground. Linda, straighten your arms. Straighten your arms. Yeah, and look forward. We're gonna look forward towards the front of the mat, not towards me, but to the front of your mat. Now, with this position, I'd like you to take your tailbone down towards your knees a little bit, not to flatten out your lower back, but just to add a little bit of support, engagement, make sure your elbows are not hyperextended. And now take your heart center and drop it down towards your thumbs without bending your elbows. Yeah, tricky, right? Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other if you can. And now pull your armpits down towards your waist. Are you breathing? Okay. Are you feeling more in this cat tilt? I mean, this dog tilt than you're feeling before. Okay. Okay. Round again. Yeah, you can come into child's pose anytime you need to. So once you've rounded, remember whatever cue you remembered, pubic bone towards belly button, tailbone down towards your inner knees, upper arms isometrically contracting. Let your head drop. Soften your lips away from each other and your tongue. Where's your mind? Is it discursive or is it focusing on what you're doing? Now look forward a little bit towards the front edge of your mat. Tailbone comes up a little. Take your tailbone up, but letting your belly drop, but then scoop the tailbone down towards your inner knees a little bit. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Drop the heart center towards your thumbs and pull your armpits down towards your waist. Your arms are straight, your shoulders are over your wrists. Notice what you're feeling. Belly is dropped, tailbone is up a little bit. Can you feel your shoulder blades squeezing together? Okay, now round into the cat tilt. How many places are you feeling this? If you take any of one or two of those cues I gave before, pubic bone in, upper arms together, tailbone down to your knee, how many places are you feeling this? And then we'll go into the dog tilt, tailbone up, belly down. Remember, once the tailbone comes up, scoop it under a little bit. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Drop your heart center towards your thumbs and pull your armpits down towards your waist. How many places are you feeling this? Are you breathing? Where's your mind? Okay, come on out. Okay, what changed?
Really?
Yeah, so you physically felt like it did something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. What else changed?
Expansion to me, the upper body, shoulders open,
Okay.
even though contracted.
Even though it's contracting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's opening on the front of the body, it's the back of the body is contracting. Yeah. What else happened?
I felt more in the side muscles on the side here.
Latissimus. Okay. What else? Anything else? Anybody
Wrist.
notice?
Wrist, a little more, wrist pressure.
Okay, so next time you can roll, oh, you did roll it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Even just the difference between the front body and like the hands and the knees and where the balance was.
Yeah, so you're feeling more pressure on the hands and more pressure on the knees.
Yeah.
How was people mind? How were your minds? Did your mind shift? When you were just free flowing, as opposed to when you were focusing on those cues and looking for what you were feeling? Did you notice, and you may not be able to describe it, did anything happen with your energy? Don't know. Don't know.
Just like everything expanded and shifted, my mind enjoyed the engagement.
Your
I was
mind enjoyed
thinking
the
about
engagement.
how each movement, even if it was very subtle or just an energetic movement of trying to put my heart center down more, it increased the stretch, and it was like a freedom and an empowerment too, and just these little putting my attention in different places changed the way the whole movement felt.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and just want to say one thing. Sometimes it's nice to hear somebody put words to it, and you might go, Oh, I think that might have been my experience also. Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
I felt as I tried to keep my elbows straight and lower and listening carefully, I just felt a familiar asymmetry kick in my sides, which was uncomfortable and got my mind in that here we go again thing. That's just honest.
Okay. It's an observation of the mind going into a familiar
After
pattern.
my body went into a pattern that
Mhm.
continued
Mhm.
to feel comfortable.
Yeah. And seeing it broken down like this allows us at some point to say, I'm not going to do that. Either I'm not going to put my body in a painful place. I was talking about the himsa, or I'm seeing my mind go into that pattern. Once you see it, you can stop it. You cannot stop it if you don't see it, right? Okay, we're going to do just another quick exercise. Sit any way that's comfortable. You can sit on a block. You can have your legs out straight. We're going to put the arms along. You could even stand up, actually, if you're more comfortable standing up, if you feel like you can't sit up straight. And we're just going to lean from side to side. Okay, so notice what you're feeling. Notice if your mind is engaged, what the energy is. Okay, come to center. And then pick up your right hand. It wasn't a test.
Yeah. No, my hair tag's gonna.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, nah, maybe. Okay. Good. That's okay. All right. I just wanted you all to know what to the right one is because I'm going to be very clear about the right and the left. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but it does matter in here. Okay. So now lean over to the right. Okay. What do you feel?
Neck.
The lengthening all on this side,
Okay.
left side.
Side seam,
Side seam. Okay.
back,
Back.
back.
Okay. All right. Now come up. Take a breath. Okay. We're going to go to the right again. To the right. Yeah. And I'd like you to pull your armpit down towards your waist. Take your neck more neutral so you're not feeling actually the stretch of your neck and the chin away from the chest. Try to sit up as tall as possible. Pull your armpit down strongly to your right hip. What do you feel?
So as.
Okay. On which side? Okay. What else? You don't have to know the name of the muscle. Don't worry about it.
Left lower back.
Left lower back. Left lower back? Oh,
That's
okay.
it. For real.
Anybody feeling, as you pull your armpit down, anybody feeling contraction on the right side?
Mhm.
No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right arm.
Right armpit,
Right.
yeah. So I want you to focus on that. Turn your palm to face up, your right palm to face up, and push your forearm down towards the ground. If you're already touching the ground, come up, anchor your left sit bone, and use the side seam muscles. Can you feel more in the side seam now? From the left side? Okay, now you're gonna keep, I'm sorry, the right side, because you're leaning to the right. Feel the right contraction, and now start to contract the left side seam without letting go of the contraction on the right. Start to contract the left side seam to come upright. Okay, now go down again. Now can you feel the right side seam contracting? Can you feel the left side seam stretching? Okay, now come on up. So that was happening before too. Your right side seam was contracting and your left side seam was opening, but most of us just felt the stretch in the left side. So just pointing to it and bringing your awareness to it just increased your consciousness by 100%. Now you're aware of your right side seam and your left side seam. Now we did pull the armpit down, but even then still people were feeling what was happening here. But just by me saying, can you feel the right? Everybody's like, yeah, I can feel the right. So that's a lot of what this is about too, practicing yoga is like, how far can we take our awareness into our bodies? Are we all just going to focus on the stretch because it feels good? It does, but muscles, our body's doing far more than just stretching. It's contracting too. And think about the implications of focusing on a contraction rather than just a stretch or a collapse, right? Let's go to the left now. Now, when you go to the left, pretend I didn't say anything, but see what you feel. Are you automatically contracting the armpit down? Are you automatically now feeling the left side seam also? See, it worked. You're all geniuses now. And are you also feeling the stretch on the right? Now let go of the contraction on the left. What happens to the stretch on the right? Does it get less or more or stay the same? Less. Go back into the contraction. Does the stretch get more? Look at that. Did you know you had that choice to change it? You didn't move your body. You didn't move deeper into the stretch. You didn't try to get more. You just engaged the other capacity of your muscle by contracting. You increase the stretch on the other side. Isn't that crazy?
But if it's hard to I'm just experimenting with being sometimes an outlier, with contracting.
Wait a minute. What? I'm teasing you. Yeah.
Well, no, because it's like.
Yeah, don't ask me that question after, okay? I have a feeling I know what you're gonna ask, but ask me that question after, okay? Because this is unique to your scoliosis. And so not all things are gonna work on all bodies, right? Okay, now we're just gonna, you're gonna just sit here, you're gonna close your eyes for a moment, see what your mind is doing. See what your breath is doing. How connected are you to your body right now? How's your nervous system? You may not know what to look for with that, but I'm just gonna ask the question and see what you come up with. Okay, then opening your eyes. I'm just gonna slowly lift your arms up, like your wrists are attached to two threads, and then down. And then up. And you can have your eyes closed or open and go slower than you think you should, and down. And you don't have to move a lot, especially if you have shoulder stuff. You can move up just a little tiny bit. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, let them float down. Can you soften your tongue in your mouth? Can you move a little slower? Can you feel muscles contracting, joints bending? What can you feel about yourself? What can you notice about yourself? There's nothing, you're not doing this right or wrong, you're just doing it. Okay, let the arms settle. Close your eyes. And what has shifted? You may have words that you can put to it, you may not, maybe nothing has shifted. Go ahead and open your eyes. Did anybody notice a shift?
Felt like the ocean moving to me. Waves of ocean.
And how did that affect you?
Calming.
Calm. Okay.
My energy feels higher.
Okay. Energy has shifted up.
I've gone the opposite. I feel more grounded,
More
very
grounded.
heavy in my lower body.
Yeah. So that idea of energy is shifting up or down also depends on where we started, right? And you know, our energy could have been very depressed, and then we move and we feel expansive, or we feel chaotic and all scattered, and we move like that, we feel grounded. Right? So that was your nervous system talking. That's a little conversation you had with your nervous system. Anybody else notice a shift? Anybody get agitated? Valid, if you did. I don't want to move slow. I want to do a handstand.
She had the permission to move slower than I thought I should.
Good. And what did that do to your energy, receiving that permission?
I felt the grounding too, but I really felt it open up, like the ocean. So like when I ground, it's usually, you know, like tree roots kind of thing, but something happened with permission and it opened up. So instead of roots, it was just open.
Space.
So yeah,
Right. Okay, that's part of our movement too. That's how the movement interfaces with energy. And then you can't help but change how your mind is working. When your energy shifts, your mind is going to shift whether you want it to or not. You ever be like, I really want to be angry at that person? Anybody ever have that? And then something happens, you're like, I can't be angry at them anymore. All right, maybe it only happens to me. So you can't help it. Your mind will shift when your energy shifts, when your nervous system shifts, your energy will shift, your mind will shift. And as we know now, medical science is confirming this, that your body shifts, right? There's a shift in hormones. There's a physical, chemical shift in your body. If you look up stress symptoms like illnesses from stress, you're going to see how people's bodies shift when their nervous system is jacked up, or you're going to see how, maybe you've experienced it yourself. So the physical body will shift as well. Okay, questions?
Where do we sign up?
That's a good question. So if you haven't filled out an application, you can go online and do that. There's a link on the teacher training on the Yoga Immersion website page. And if you get a deposit in by, I think it's tomorrow, there's a bit of a discount. And then I think you have to have a deposit in by 2/1, the first. And payment is cash, check, or Venmo, no credit cards.
So we can bring by tomorrow for the discount.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. And also, I usually have I do have kind of graduates here. I don't know if they want to talk to it. Of the program, that if you want to ask questions, people who've been through the program, I can supply you with their numbers or their emails to talk to them about what the experience was like. Everybody has a different experience, right? And that's really what's kind of wonderful about it. I have seen amazing shifts in people from doing yoga immersions, and I've experienced it myself. As I said, I'm just in here to sweat. And look at me now. I'm sitting here not sweating. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. So you will get the recording, and that way you'll, again, I said, you will have an idea of what it's like to watch a session. The studio, when it's not being used, if you want to gather as a group, is available to you. You just have to let me know. So I'm sure nothing else is happening here. Sometimes people gather outside of the studio. If you miss something and you want to meet with people to go over it, that's possible too. There is only so much that you can do on video. It's sometimes better you have to be in and talk about it. Being on Zoom too, you can zoom in also. And yeah, getting together to practice is always really great. Just if it's just like, let's all do Warrior 1 and see what we're feeling. But anyway, we can talk about that further in the body of the training. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.